Welcome to my 1 Minute to Wow video tutorial. This is Mary Fish with Stampin' Pretty. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I share paper, stamps, and ink ideas for paper crafting daily on my Stampin' Pretty blog. I hope you get a chance to stop by, subscribe to my blog updates, and check into my free newsletter. So for today's video, I'm going to share with you a Stampin' Up! Product that those of us that love very detailed dies are going to enjoy having. And that is the Big Shot die brush. It comes with this little rolling brush and handle, some real stiff bristles, and then there is a sponge base that you don't want to throw away. I made the mistake. Unfortunately, I asked before it actually went in the garbage. It is not packaging. It's actually part of using this little brush. And I'm going to show you how to do that in just a minute. So when I'm talking about detailed dies, Stampin' Up! Has some of the prettiest. This one in particular has almost a laser cut beauty to it. It's from a stamp set from the a die set from the 2016 Occasions catalog, and it's called Bloomin' Heart. Here you can actually see that is the actual die, and this is what I used for those little flowers that come in the, I cropped this yummy new Blushing Bride glimmer paper. I hope you can see all that gorgeous sparkle. And then create this really simple Valentine or love card. And of course I've got to make a coordinating envelope liner for the envelope. This is actually a little sneak peek of the Love Blossoms Designer Series paper, and it will be available on January 5th of 2016 when the Occasions catalog is available. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is I want you to get to know your Big Shot, because when you create this sandwich, each Big Shot's going to have just a little variation in tension, and it's going to change a little bit over time. So for mine, I actually have the magnetic platform first. And knowing my machine, I know that, and I just experiment, that's all I do, experiment, that for the perfect amount of tension for cutting a very detailed die as well as other dies, I typically need to put a piece of thick Whisper White down. You can experiment with copy paper or a sheet of Designer Series paper. They all have a little bit different thicknesses until you find what works for you. And then the other really neat product that Stampin' Up! Introduced in the holiday catalog of 2015 is this precision base plate, which has just a little bit of cushion. It's really not designed for everyday die cutting. It's really designed to work with the detailed dies. And then I have a piece of cardstock, and I am going to grab the heart die from Bloomin' Heart. And I'm going to lay it face down, and I'm going to run it through my Big Shot machine. So again, this sandwich is what works for me, but you might have to experiment just a little bit. And I know the Big Shot's going to take up the whole screen here, but you'll get the idea. So I'm going to run it through back and forth 3 times. And with that added pressure of that thick Whisper White, I'm going to have to hold on to the top because it's just a little more tension. I'm not forcing it through, okay? So now it's through, but not all the way, and I'm going to bring it backwards. So that's kind of my, I guess, second pass. And then now I'm going to bring it back again for my final pass, okay? That's what works for me in getting a nice, clean cut with my Big Shot and these detailed dies. So now you're going to get to see the magic of this cute little die cut brush. So you put the sponge below, and I'm actually keeping everything intact. Now this little die brush is not designed to remove the little bits, okay, from the actual die cut. It is removing them from the die. We all are familiar with how sometimes paper can get lodged in the dies. So by means of these little bristles and these little holes, if you go over all of it, you should be able to get every one of those little things out clean. Perfect, right? And then we've got the die cut. And you know what? I often compare this to having high-heeled shoes. You know, they look amazing, but they're a little more work and they're not quite as comfortable. But they're just a little bit more work. So usually I just will flick and get some of the loose bits out. And then I will grab my paper piercing mat and just pop out any of those extra loose bits. They're loose, but sometimes they just need a little encouragement to pop out. And ultimately you're going to have this look when you pop those little pieces out. So like I said, just like high heel shoes, little extra work, but oh, so very beautiful with this type of result. So it's worth that extra effort. So thank you for joining me and my new Big Shot brush for today's video tutorial. And please stop by my blog, stampinpretty.com. Thank you. Bye-bye.